Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. Apparently, Lebron James, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, arguably, made a statement that the Boston Celtics fans are racist as if you know. Yeah, he made this statement. He made a statement that the Boston Celtics fans are racist. Okay. So we're going to get into this article and we're going to see if his judgment and assertion that the Boston Celtics fans are racist as you know what stands up to scrutiny. What exactly did he mean by this? Were they really racist? Let's check this out. Let's get into this article. This is becoming more and more common with him, but basketball star LeBron James attacked Boston Celtics fans, claiming they are, quote, racist as F when describing his hatred for the team. James made his remark during an episode of his talk show, The Shop. And see, this is how I just did a video on this race stuff. This is how this stuff stays in the atmosphere, but stays on people's minds. But I'm going to get into that in detail. I'm going to get into that in my commentary. Why do you hate Boston? James agent Rich Paul asked the basketball player. Cause they racist as F, James said. They will say anything. Now, I'm just quoting you what this man said. This is what this article says. Now, whether or not he actually said this or not, hey, you guys can challenge this with some conflicting information. But according to Breitbart News article, this is what he said, and I'm reading what he said. They will say anything, and it's fine. It's my life. F, I've been dealing with it all my life. Now, this is my comment on it. I don't believe that. I don't believe he's been dealing with racism all his life. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't believe that. James explained that he would, quote, check Celtics fans who make racist comments towards him during games. Now, let's see what these racist comments were. Now, I'm looking at a picture right now, actually, on Breitbart News. There's a picture of, this is when James was in Cleveland. And there's a picture of some Boston Celtics fans here. They have a picture, they have a card up that says King without a ring. And then they have another picture of him, it's like this actually paper cut out of his face with tears coming down his face, looking sad because he don't have a ring. Can you interpret that? Now, the individuals that are doing this, they're clearly white. So could that be interpreted as racist? Think about that. But we'll get into that in detail. I don't think that could be interpreted as racist. It's just that you're an opposing team. They want their team to beat, so they're mocking you. But because it's coming from white people, they're racist. But let's go on. I don't mind it. I hear it. If I hear somebody close by, I check them real quick, then move on to the game. They're going to say whatever the F they want to say, James said. This is just really bad. James went on to discuss the time a Celtics fan poured a drink on him while he was walking towards the locker room. They might throw something on you. I mean, I got a beer thrown on me leaving the game, James said. So let me say something right here. Or let me go ahead and read the rest of what he says. He says, there was like a F LeBron James t-shirt. I believe they probably sold it at the effing team shop, he added. So does that mean that they're racist? I mean, does that mean that they're racist because they're saying this? To me, the way I see this, now, what if it was black people that had shirts that was walking around saying F LeBron James? What if it was black people pouring beer on you? Would you interpret them as being racist? I don't interpret that as being racist. I interpret that as that they just want their team to win. They don't want you to win, so they're going to show you that they don't want you to win. I don't think it has anything to do with racism. I don't see any racism in here other than the fact that they're being jerks. But I see that. I see black jerks, white jerks, Hispanic jerks, Asian jerks. I see all kinds of jerks. Okay. I don't, to me, that's what I see. I don't see racism. But once again, you have these mouthpieces out here in the liberal media that keep spinning the race card. And in the previous video, I did the video before about the 3 individuals, females that assaulted that woman on the bus and said they hate white people. And I explained why. This is part of the reason why. Because their minds is being filled with rhetoric from top notch people, if you want to call them that, like LeBron James, people in the celebrity field, people that are up before millions and millions of people saying crazy, stupid stuff like this and keeping the race card flowing, keeping it operating, keeping it before people when it shouldn't be. But let's go on. Ridiculous, man. James' decision to call Boston fans racist is more than a little shocking, the article goes on to say, considering the Lakers star is also part owner of the Boston Red Sox. So let me get this straight. You're part, according to this article, if this article is correct, and if this article is authentic, that you part owner of the Boston Red Sox, but you believe that the fans are, you know what I'm saying, racist. You know, so you need to pull your money out, bro. If you think they're racist, then don't have anything to do with them. Don't have anything to do with monetary. See how hypocritical people are? If this is factual, if this statement here is factual in this article, that shows how hypocritical he's being. Oh, the fans are racist, but I'm gonna be part owner because I want that money. James, a frequent critic of the United States, made headlines earlier this week when speaking about WNBA star Brittney Griner, who is currently detained by Russian authorities on drug charges. James suggested the WNBA star would not want to return to the United States after President Joe Biden's administration seemingly made no efforts to ensure her return to the country. And let me say this before I even read James' supposed words when he said this, made this comment. I said this in a previous video. President Joe Biden's administration, in my opinion, is not going to be bothered to try to bring her back for the simple fact that out of sight, out of mind. What the left does, the left establishment, those in the positions of power and authority in the left, they chew you up and spit you out. When she was around, she said all these anti-American things. I'm going to do this. I don't like this, all this anti-American stuff. And they let you do it because you was a useful idiot to them. They let you do it, okay, because they needed you to spin this division. But now that she's out of sight, she's out of mind. She's not relevant anymore. She's not relevant to the movement of the left. She's not relevant to the president, what he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to push this global government that his handlers are giving to him and that he agrees with. So she's out of sight, out of mind. So he's not going to worry about any of this. This is you're not relevant anymore. So of course they're not going to pay any attention to you. But let's go on. Now, how can you feel? This is LeBron's words. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I will be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America? James said. Okay, so this hate that, I can't help but wonder. let me read. I got to say something right here. I can't help but wonder, is this what sounds like to me inner frustration in him? I can't help but wonder, is this inner frustration that sounds like to me, is this coming from the fact that he didn't win another ring, that he didn't go to the championships, that the Lakers did pretty bad during the season? Is that where that's coming from? And you got to vent some kind of way? You got to use this racial epithet to keep yourself in the limelight now? I mean, is that what that's all about? Are you frustrated? Are you angry because you didn't go to the championships? If that's the case, he's being very childish. He's being like a baby. And that's making, I believe, in my opinion, a significant number of people to not like you. Has nothing to do with his abilities and his skills of being a basketball player. So I don't want anybody to say, well, you're attacking his skills. No, I'm not attacking his skills. I'm attacking the foolishness that he's talking about. I'm commenting on the foolishness that he's saying. Clearly, he's playing the game as far as I'm concerned. However, James walked back to article goes on to say, however, James walked back his comments after receiving backlash, of course. Because most people don't believe the foolishness he's saying. Goes on to say, James claims he, quote, wasn't knocking our beautiful country. Is that what he really said? If he said that, then really, man, come on. Instead, he was, quote, simply saying how she's probably feeling emotionally along with so many other emotions, thoughts, etc. inside that cage she's been in for over 100 plus days, end quote. And that's the end of the article. So you broke the law. But she broke the law, James. She broke the law. What do you expect? She broke the law. So basically what you're implying is that, okay, even though she broke the law, she's really going through something emotionally here. She's really under a lot of stress. She's really down on her luck. She's really feeling bad. But had she not broke the law, she probably wouldn't be feeling this way. That's part of the consequences of breaking the law, sir. You break the law and you get caught, you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel down because you broke the law. So she's probably thinking to herself, man, I messed up real bad and got caught because I broke the law. So I don't feel sorry for her for that. When you do wrong and you suffer the consequences for it, that's what happens. For every action, there's a corresponding reaction. You can't do something and expect things to just work out your way. If you do bad, you get bad back most of the time. You do good, you get good back most of the time. Not all the time, but generally speaking. But that's the end of the article there. But yeah, I mean, that's just nonsense. In my opinion, I believe he's just upset because he didn't go to the championships. Now he got to get all upset and call the Boston Celtics fans racist and all this kind of stuff. But from the article, information I read in the article, it doesn't in any way to me indicate racism. It just indicates some goofy fans that were being jerks, that were pouring beer on them and all this kind of stuff. You see this kind of stuff and have seen this kind of stuff in just about every sport. Back in the days, back in like the 50s and 60s, and even before then, in boxing, when there were boxing tournaments, boxing matches going on, if the boxing match didn't go the way the people that paid their tickets wanted it to go, they would throw beer and chairs and popcorn and all kinds of stuff into the ring. And a lot of these boxers were white. Okay, a lot of them were white. So was that racist? I don't think so. In my opinion, I don't think it was. It was just that they didn't like the way the fight was going. They paid their ticket for it. They didn't like the way the fight was going. And they let you know they didn't like the way the fight was going. And they went off and started throwing chairs and popcorn and beer and whatever else they could pick up and throw in the ring. But it didn't show any sign, as far as I'm concerned, any indication of racism, because most of those boxers at that time were white. So the same scenario here. I don't think it's racism. It's just that these are the kind of fans that are dedicated to their team. You just happen to be supposedly King James. That's what he was called here in Cleveland. And so they're just mocking you. They're trolling you. But because they're white, it's racism. I didn't see any racism in it. I just see trollers that just happen to be white. So what do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again on another Black Conservative.